Welcome, everybody. So glad to have you all here tonight. We look forward to this every year to share MTR's impact from the previous year and what we're looking forward to in 2026. I'm Kelly Rogers. I'm MTR's Executive Director. I have been at MTR since 2008. I was the program director for many years until 2020 when I took on the executive director position. Um, those who know me know that this place it means so much to me. It's a big part of my heart, and I am just so grateful to be surrounded by this amazing community of people and horses and see the impact that we have every single day. It's truly incredible. So. Lisa?
I'm Lisa Zaring. I'm the Director of Development here at MTR. I've been here for about 4.5 years now, and it is a dream job for me. I'm a longtime horse person and philanthropy person, so to be able to work in an environment where it marries those two things together is truly a dream come true. So go to Jessica.
Um, oh, I'm unmuted. Good. Yep. I'm Jessica. I'm the Director of Operations. I actually had to, right before this meeting, I looked up one year I started volunteering here, and it was 2015. So I've been here at MTR for 11 years. I started as a couple hours every Saturday volunteer. Fell in love with the horses, fell in love with our mission, and kind of just slowly worked my way into different roles. So I'm also an advanced certified instructor. I'm an equine specialist for mental health programming. And it really is a dream come true. When I was a volunteer way back when, I remember thinking as I pulled onto the driveway that I could only ever dream of working at a place like this. I'm incredibly grateful here.
Hello, I'm Emily. I'm the operations manager. I've been working here for a little over 2 years now, but I actually started my time at MTR back in 2012. And then I took several years away and found my way back to such a special place. So yeah, just lucky to be here and it's great.
Hi, I'm Amanda Holland. I'm the volunteer manager. I've been here since 2021. I started as a volunteer. I absolutely fell in love with the place. I even had to move away for a couple of years and made our way back. That was part of the deal. And I'm so happy to be back here.
We're happy to have you back.
You gotta unmute.
Yay! Can you hear us now?
Yeah.
Can you hear us now?
Yep.
Okay. I'm Lindsay Arar. I started here almost 11 years ago. I've been doing therapeutic riding now for nearly 17 years, and very similar to us all, started volunteering at a center and very swiftly fell in love with how horses impact people and change people's lives. And there was no other way except to continue doing this no matter what. And MTR, for me, embodies all of the values that make this work so special. We are a very collaborative team, and there is no way to do this without being a team. And that is volunteers and participants and their families. It's everyone involved to make those life-changing moments accessible for people. Yeah.
I'm Katie Street. I'm the Director of Therapy Services here. I volunteered here shortly in high school and then found my way back since 2000 in 2009. So I've been in one role or another for about 17 years. Instructor, head instructor, volunteer manager, program manager. So clearly I love it all. I love every aspect of the work that we do. And yes, the team approach, none of it happens alone. Healing doesn't happen alone. And that we get to have these amazing horses and environment to do it in is, I think we're all saying it, dream come true to get to work and live our lives here. We're excited to share with you all that we accomplished last year and are looking forward to this year.
Thank you, everybody. I think we got everybody. And I see Chris Powers online. Hi, Chris. Okay.
Lindsay, do you want to go ahead and share your screen?
I will. Okay, let me know if you guys can see, okay? Can you see it all?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So what we're going to go through tonight is our 2025 impact report. You all are getting the first look at this. So we're going to review the year that we had and yeah, talk about some of the amazing highlights that we've seen at the farm. So, most of you know that last year we went through a really big project, and that was our brand refresh. We worked with bite-sized communications for that, and we're really pleased with the outcome. The brand refresh included not only a refreshed logo, but also our name. It's actually MTR, Horses That Heal, although we're still legally Maryland Therapeutic Riding, so it's interchangeable. Um, and we have a brand new website. So I hope everybody's had a chance to check that out. That was a lot of work and a lot of time that we took to make that what it is. So thrilled with our new look, and we had a beautiful new sign up at the top of the drive, but unfortunately during that storm there was a hit and run, so we are in the process of replacing our sign and everything and beautifying the farm as always in the spring. So I'm just going to review our mission and vision and core values quickly. Our mission is to transform lives by connecting humans and horses in a nurturing environment, fostering healing and growth for all. Our vision is to be a leading provider of innovative equine assisted services while building a compassionate community that celebrates transformative power of the human and horse connection. We live by our core values here at the farm. That is something that we feel so strongly about. And this team in particular was really excited to refresh them last year when we did the brand refresh. So our core values are intentionality, acting with purpose and clarity to align every decision and interaction with our mission to foster healing, growth, and well-being. Commitment to growth. I think a lot of you know that we love to learn around here. We love to give the what, hows, and whys, and we love to hear the what, hows, and whys. So constantly striving to learn and be better and improve. Um, there's always room for growth. Connection, building trusting and meaningful relationships between people, horses, and our community. And harmony, promoting balance and unity in our programs and our environment to ensure a safe, peaceful experience for all. Okay, Lindsay, I'm gonna pass it off to you.
Okay. Just let me know if you guys can't hear me okay. In 2025, we put out some nominations for awards. Because we live by those values, we want to recognize those in our community that have really been an example of those values. So our categories were the Horse of the Year, our Equine Partner of the Year, and Wrigley was voted for that. Um, he truly, not only is he like an exceptional mirror for those around him, but he has the ability to just block out the outside world for those that need him to, and really just show up as they need him to show up. And it has been a joy watching him with the participants over the year. So I was happy that he got that recognition this year. He's one of our heavy hitter hard workers, Bar Wrigley boy. The Volunteer of the Year was awarded to Betty Schaefer. You'll see further on, she has collected most of the most hours of 2025. She was all blushed in red when we announced it. She was all blushed in red. She is never sitting down, always making things better, always making things more organized, checking in with us when she gets here to see what else needs to be done, she just never ever sits down unless she's bringing us some cupcakes. She's a mentor. She loves teaching other new volunteers also. So she is a true example of that community and continuing to grow and just being whatever everybody needs her to be. Yeah, somebody said she's tremendous. Yes, she is very tremendous. Our provider of the year was Michelle Rude. And Kelly, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure she's been here nearly 20 years.
Yep.
Um,
Yes, she has.
she has, right along with Katie, Kelly, and also Chrissy, seen this place grow and change and evolve. And she has been dedicated to her craft, always wanting to improve her services as a physical therapist here. Um, some of the testimonials that her families gave were that she's incredible, that she's so caring and committed to just giving it her all, and she's incredible. And our why of why we are doing what we do is for our participants. And our participant of the year was Sydney Joyce. She also has been riding for many years, dedicated to her craft, a true horsewoman, and she will gladly sit in the barn aisle and tell you all about what the horses eat, why they're wearing certain blankets. She just loves to teach her new volunteers, and she loves dearly this place. Like she just can't wait until the next time she's here. So she's very, very incredible. So those are our award winners of 2025. And be thinking of nominations for 2026 also.
You want to talk about also Dr. Reams?
All right. Yes, thank you. So, Path International, who we are accredited for, and we are in network with them. They do also have different categories for awards, and Dr. Reams are one of our veterinarians that we partner with Southern Maryland Equine Veterinary Services. Dr. Reams won the Region 2 Veteran of the Year because she is committed to educating. I mean, not only does she answer our 10 p.m. text messages religiously about something weird that the goats did or that Chip breathed too heavy one time and we just need to know an answer. She's very committed to educating our community also. She comes for Life Skills Week. She comes for Barn University. She just has gone above and beyond to help our community. So we were very, very happy that she got that recognition as well. The other thing that we got to do this year was because we have a very supportive team here, we were seeing that there was a gap in our adaptive equipment. And that because everybody's so supportive, they said, Lindsay, you're creative, see what you can come up with. And in conversations with our saddle fitter, they said, I think we can make that. And I went, oh my gosh. So what I was finding in our lessons is that sometimes a close contact saddle with a flatter seat, but has close contact in the thigh and the panels, doesn't provide as much support in terms of the pelvis position. It can prompt a rider with low trunk control to have a tilted seat backwards, a posterior tilt in the pelvis. Although it allows for flexibility around the panels, it is harder for them to hold up their trunk. If a person has limited mobility in their hips, it can accommodate them to sit astride a horse. But I was trying to figure out how to mirror and marry that rather with a dressage seat. The dressage seat that's deep and has a higher back to it puts the rider's pelvis in more of a neutral position and it encourages them to sit up straight. But often the thigh blocks and the panels on the saddle are longer around the girth, and they have a thigh block that doesn't allow for flexibility when a rider has high spasticity or low mobility in their hips. And so I thought, let's mirror or marry this and put the two together to make an adaptive saddle. And so we came up with, I have one of my this was literally a sketch in my planner of me just trying to dream. and partnering with the saddle fitters that came. It was an exceptional process. Katie Perry, one of our participants, was involved in this. So you can see in the picture here, what a fun day that was to have her try different models of saddles and say, I like this part of this one. I don't think this is quite comfortable. She got to pick the color of the piping, the type of leather, the panel on the front there is Velcro, so it comes off and we can change the size of the thigh blocks so that if a rider needs the thigh block positioned differently or a smaller thigh block or a larger one, we can accommodate that. So this saddle will accommodate people for years to come. The tree of the saddle can also be replaced so that it fits various horses as well. So that one saddle will be able to help many people over the next several years as well. It was such a dream come true, and having Katie be right along in that process with us was just a joy. And we could only do that with support from our community as well financially.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, we were
Right on.
fortunate to have that be part of our fundraising last year for some of our seasonal fundraising. Um, and so the funds to purchase that saddle were all done through community support. So thank everyone for your support in making that happen for our participants.
Yeah, I mean, you see in the before and the after, um, she just glows when she's in that saddle, and she just beams with pride. It makes me get emotional about it because she just feels so proud.
Lindsay's very humble too, so I hope everyone knows what a huge deal this is. So, Lindsay is Disney magic at the farm, and we all see that in person, but, knowing how tirelessly she works, behind the scenes in support of the participants in our mission. So she dreamt this up. I think it's such a beautiful example of, the community that we have. For Lindsay to have dreamt up, you see her little sketch there. We take a lot of pride in the professionals that we partner with. So to have reps from Custom Saddlery be excited to support us in leading this. And like Lisa said, we were only able to do it because of the support of the community, having our participants give their direct input. It was a really, really beautiful, incredible thing to have accomplished.
Yes. Lindsay, you're amazing.
Yeah.
And speaking of amazing, I'm going to go into our incredible team here at MTR. I think most of you know that our team is what really makes us stand apart from and do what we do so well with excellence and heart, and the commitment that all of the staff have here is just remarkable. And this year, our board, as our programs are continuing to grow, our impact grows as well. So, and that includes our staff and what their responsibilities are. They've been carrying a lot. We're a small team, but we carry a lot of responsibilities. So our board of directors approved a leadership alignment to formally recognize the roles that many of our team have already been fulfilling. So thrilled to officially recognize Jessica as our Director of Operations, Lisa as our Director of Development, Katie as our Director of Therapy Services, Lindsay as our Director of Programming and Education, Emily Hughes as Operations Manager, and Amanda Holland as Volunteer Manager. These leaders have already been serving in these capacities and helping guide MTR's growth and future every single day. So this recognition simply reflects the leadership and commitment that they bring to the MTR mission. So congratulations, everybody.
Anyone on this call is wondering what that means for them in terms of who they communicate to about which things do know that we'll be in touch with them.
Okay, so then our herd. The reason why we are all here loving horses together and wanting to learn and grow so much is how to better improve their care, their quality of life, and their happiness in doing this work as well. Credit, Jem and Ruthie joined us in 2025. Credit stepped off the trailer and was like, I've been here for 5 years already. Let me just go ahead and do our work. He was a fun learning opportunity. Like we are very intentional about how we onboard new horses. We go as slow as possible so that they comfortably can acclimate into the job and feel like they can thrive. And then we really get to know them on a different level than just seeing them in the arena. We want to know everything about them, even little Jem and little Ruthie. We want to know that we can make sure that they are feeling happy and healthy as they learn their new roles and where they are going to thrive and find their strengths as well. I think we all have exceptional stories from them for each of these horses, but the general theme of all of the horses is that we see them each week ignoring their natural instinct and doing exactly what the participant needs. Splash, he serves a group an organization that we partner with for equine learning. And I mean, he stands there and literally, he's so good at his job, he can do it in his sleep. But he really teaches them carefully all the ways that they can use their horsemanship skills in the barn and while leading around the property. Even in retirement from mounted work, he still has a very busy schedule because he is so exceptional at what he's doing now, and he's very happy doing it. Um, he perks up. Those little ears just come, and he's amazing. He's just amazing. I think we could probably fill the next hour with stories of horses, but the general theme is they have heart that fills up this whole farm. And it's very easy to see. We all have our favorites, but
Yeah,
thank you for all they are incredible. And they do it because the volunteers, they feel how much they're loved. All of the volunteers love them. They love seeing the participants because, but believe you me, they know when participants are not here. After this winter storm, they were ready to, Splash came to the gate. I'm so excited to see everybody. Fluffy basically put his nose in my pocket, like, yes, let's do some work. They were very excited to see people return back to the farm after that winter storm.
I think a cool thing that we do here at MTR across all the different areas, so our staff and our volunteers, really everywhere, is tap into the strengths. And I think if you all are looking at this beautiful display of our different horses, all of you probably have specific stories about the individual horses and know how big their individual personalities are. And I think one of the really cool things that we've been able to do starting this past year is tap into their strengths really well too. So really asking them to show up as themselves and see what they love. As a result, we've been able to, like Lindsay said, still has a full schedule that he loves. So how cool is that he was able to retire from mounted services and still continue with such a busy schedule. But it's allowed us to expand our impact by being creative with different opportunities.
Yeah, and I'll also mention it with our herd, an important factor in making this work possible. You'll see under a lot of the horses' names, it shows a champion. We do have a horse champion program here that is essentially a family or individual sponsoring a specific horse, and they assist financially with that horse's care, upkeep, and well-being for us. And as you can imagine, as prices rise in every area of our living, you can only imagine how expenses on a farm have increased over the past few years. So having these champions as part of our community that are supporting that aspect for us is a huge help for us, and to ensure that we do not have to, not provide the care that is needed for their well-being, whether that is, do we need to bring a chiropractor in to give an adjustment to a horse? So again, having that type of a support to make those decisions easy and not have to worry about how that's going to affect other finances is a huge help to us. We do still have some horses that have champion spots available, so if anybody's interested in learning more about that, just reach out and we'd be happy to share information about how you can champion a horse as well.
Sorry. There we go. Sorry. It went away.
You're giving it all away.
I'm giving it all away. Technology.
That's perfect.
Right. To talk about our participants and programs, who we serve. There's so much beautiful information here and on our next slide. It's kind of like a magazine fold. But looking at this and all the like the numbers and the stories and one of the frameworks we use in equine assisted psychotherapy when we're collecting a lot of little details, watching what the horses are doing as we look for what's changed, shifts, what patterns and things that are unique. And so like looking for a story in these beautiful numbers and pictures that you can see on the screen. What came to mind for me was that bringing together all the expertise that you just heard everyone talk about from highly trained instructors, the highest trained instructors at the master and advanced levels with PATH, licensed therapists, volunteers and folks that have a heart to grow and learn more and mentor, and with expertise in how to care for horses to help them be at their best. And then combining them, connecting them with these horses that have a passion for this work, but also the lifestyle of lots of hands-on and people here. It has led to an impact that is deep and wide. There's so much depth, whether it's riding or unmounted programs or just being here at the farm and helping out. We are meeting people in every area of their life. There's physical benefits, and you can see this wide range, 2 years old to 90, 98, 96, 96 last year, with 55 different diagnoses. For such a wide range of individuals to be able to gain so much through intentional connection with a horse. As you can see in those pictures, it's amazing to see how deeply it goes, physical communication, mental health, and on and on. And that there's different opportunities now. So we have our foundation in adaptive riding and horsemanship. And while there's lots of sessions, 2,000 sessions, over 2,000 sessions last year with 100 folks, over 100 people. That's the depth. These are folks like us who have their bedrooms decorated with horses. They're also living, able to incorporate horses into their daily life. That's why there's so many sessions. There are participants in that program that have been here for 30 years, and everything in between. And so
Well, as Chad says, I have a 25-year tenure and I hope to have 25 more.
Yeah. And then additionally, being able to serve what you can see our special services participants 451, and then mental health services 219, with hundreds of hours of work. That even those one-day events or coming to the farm for one day is deeply impactful. I'm sure we can all think of times, whether it be riding or interacting on the ground, that is one moment in time that a fear was conquered, or you felt confident and like you could do something, or felt so connected to your horse you didn't know where you ended and they began. We see just amazing things, people showing up as themselves and especially the work on the ground, not have, we always say you don't have to be calm. Like there aren't
Yeah.
rules. You don't have to be calm. You just have to be. Horses show up for us when you are however you are. And to see someone come in fully embodying their grief or sadness or fear and having horses lay down in front of them. There's endless stories. Not every single one is magic, but there's a lot of magic
Yeah.
and for the people that we serve. Um, Connected to that are all the, like I just shared all the different ways that we work with people, whether it be in weekly services and going deeply into therapy goals and benefits, and then having recreational goals as well, and serving in a lot of different capacities for our special services as well.
Yep. Emily, will you tell us a little bit about our unmounted programs?
So I think one of the cool things from last year was how we expanded on our unmounted programming. We've had so many people like during the winter storms and everything saying, we just want to be at the farm. And so being able to give more options for people to be at the farm without riding, having to be a part of it. And it's one of the parts of it that is an interest for me. It's been expanding on some liberty training with our horses, which is just where the horse has no equipment attached to them and just having a communication, a conversation with these horses at liberty. And it's really, I started learning it as something that was fun for me, and then being able to see it evolve through MTR into different ways that it could really help. Like it has helped Fluffy in his sessions, and I've used it in equine learning sessions with participants gaining connection and learning to lead. But one of the coolest stories I think is with Ruthie, our little mini mule, who, sometimes people say, what could she be doing here? Because no one can ride her. She's so little. But she came to us pretty much,
She wouldn't even let us
handled.
put a halter on.
Yeah, she was pretty much unhandled. She kind of jumped off the trailer and was here and looked at us like, what do you want from me? And through some liberty training, we've really been able to get her where she is probably one of the animals at the farm that comes to the fence and says hi to everyone now and wants to be involved, and going from a really nervous animal who was confused and wasn't sure what she was supposed to be doing to being able to be in so many different types of sessions and offer participants, sometimes a big horse can be scary, and a mini mule, even though she's probably actually the scariest, she can be much less intimidating. And so it's been cool to see how those unmounted services can really provide much more access to a wider community.
Yeah, and it's using that those unmounted creative programming while upholding our safety standards and being creative with different ways to meet people where they're at and connect them with these incredible partners. Our special services last year also was a different way to do that. Our summer celebration week and our life skills week, our adult participant skills week, the Barn University program, the MTR on the road, the yoga on the farm, our in training programs where we are bringing along new professionals in this industry, our para dressage events, and our hosting different educational events throughout the year is just another way to bring in people to have them experience ways that they can grow and learn and find their place in this world. I mean, a lot of times they come for a day on the farm and suddenly they grow a whole new passion and it changes the trajectory of their life. It changes the current for them, all because this cute little mini mule followed them around the arena. And now I have agency and I'm wanted. And I can bring that experience into one of my favorite things is when people tell me that because this horse connected with them, I felt more comfortable to invite somebody to sit with me at lunch. That's the kind of benefit that comes about from this and all of the special services. Bringing the little baby goats to preschools opens up a different world for some little ones out there that don't have access to seeing something that looks like a dog, but it's not a dog and it talks differently and eats this funny grain stuff, and I can still connect with it and it follows me around. Uh, so being creative, it is this team approach and being creative while still upholding our safety standards and finding the strength that our horses have, like Jessica mentioned.
Yeah. Yep, and leveraging that riding is one aspect, one important and life-changing aspect of being with horses, but there's so much more in so many ways that we can connect with them and gain you see that little yellow blurb of outcomes is a very short list.
It's very short.
There's so much more, and there aren't many activities and therapies that can reach a person on so many different levels to really get at the mind, body, and spirit, and in a way that's experiential and happening right now. And that's how we get to not just I had a fun time, but I have skills now that I can take outside of the farm and past the fence line into my everyday life. And being able to, yes, to transition from a therapy into a recreational activity. So there's opportunity for people who, need a door opened on a path to go on to their next adventure. And then there's opportunities to stay as part of the community for as long as fits, as works for them. We could not do all of this without all of the partnerships. We're always saying, if you know someone who would like to partner with us, there's so many amazing opportunities to get connected. And it is working with those community partners that are bringing in. We served 765 participants last year, which is a 40% increase from the year before. And it is connecting with our greater community, letting them know that we're here. Then the number of times we hear, we didn't know you were back here. There are so many creative ways to bring about these opportunities and healing. So we are so grateful and cool to look at. Many of these partners that are listed here have been long-term partners. Some started as having only one event a year and now have some every month, and some brand new partnerships as well. So we're so grateful for them.
One of my favorite stories from last year was senior living group came out and brought some residents in memory care, and they were sitting in the barn and brushing Splash, and suddenly a woman who is 92 just starts spouting out all of these memories, and the aides and the nurses that came with her were astounded that simply this action of connecting with Splash brought about all of these tactile sensory memories from her childhood. The nurses didn't even know anything about that this woman we used to be a rider. But the smell and being in the barn, it woke up her memory. I love when stuff like that happens.
Yeah.
So the highlight of not only our 2025, but I think all of the little horse girls in us were thrilled at the opportunity to recognize Chrissy. And I'm going to try not to cry when I talk about her, but I'm probably going to fail. An opportunity through the United States Equestrian Federation came about to nominate horses for their Heart Horse Award. A heart horse is defined by a horse that is connected to a person and changes that person's life. I think we all have had a heart horse or strive to have a heart horse, but it is exceptionally unique that a heart horse for so many over 17 years. I think she's someone's heart. She is a heart horse for hundreds. And that is exceptional.
More, yeah.
More. This is exceptional. Partnering with her in lessons, I often look to her to tell me what the rider needs, if we need to change activities. She will often translate for what's going on and she sometimes she knows better than I do. Oftentimes I will put it to her. She's like our leadership staff. She knows what needs to happen. I get emotional thinking about, whew, I get emotional thinking about, I just love her so much, but her watching this property change over the last 17 years.
It's all right.
Yeah. Through her eyes, people have come and gone. Horses have come and gone, but she remains steady. Dang it, Chrissy. um, she embodies what this work is about. And it was an honor to be able to recognize her and on such a platform, to be able to go to the Pegasus Award, have Katie and Kelly up on stage accepting her award and giving their incredible speech, and them playing the video for Olympic riders and all of these upper level people in all of the different associations, and cheer for her and hear her be called our girl. And she is. She's our girl. And well, she knows it. She knows she's an award winner. She knows when it's 5:01 and her dinner is not being served. But truly, truly, a heart horse to the utmost definition is her. She has stuck it through for 17 years and watched it all. I would just love to hear what she has to say about everything that she's seen. Maybe not everything. She does that. But it was truly, truly an honor. Like our little horse girls and ourselves were just giddy to be able to do that for her. There's not many ways we can thank horses for what they do in this. But that was one way.
Yeah.
So sorry for my gosh.
Oh, thank you, Lindsay. Thank you. I don't think there is a way to talk about that without being emotional.
No, yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Do not be sorry. But she's right. We fully lived it up at that Pegasus Awards, as Chrissy would want us to.
Right.
And we look forward to celebrating her even more at the horse show and the April horse show for getting.
Yes, it's April 26th. We're going to do a ribbon presentation for her.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she'll get some cookies also.
Yep.
There you go.
Thanks, Lindsay.
Now we just want to touch on a really special program that we offer here at MTR also. That's our Equine Services for Heroes program. This is basically a scholarship program. It allows us to provide our equine assisted therapy services to our active duty veterans and first responders at no charge to them, obviously, to show our appreciation for all that they have given for our community. So this is our way of giving back to them. This program is 100% sustained through community support. So it is through grant awards, it is through personal donations. So without that, we would not be able to offer this opportunity to this special group of people. In 2025, we actually served 107 individuals under the Equine Services for Heroes. So it was a huge honor to have that many people supported. And again, we would not have been able to do that without the support of organizations like Northrop Grumman and Tower Cares, and then the Maryland Department of Veterans and Military Families. And those are the high-end grantors that have supported it, but there are many, many, many donors amongst our ranks that support this program as well and make this possible for us. So again, thank you to all of those that make it possible, and we're hopeful to maintain that level of support for this special population and look for additional opportunities. We were fortunate this past year partnering with organizations like the Wounded Warrior Project, Fort Meade, the Navy Exceptional Family Members Program. So there's lots of opportunities for us to connect with organizations out there and give an opportunity for their individuals to come either as a group, or we also serve individuals. So just an amazing program that we're really proud to have such a strong ability to serve. Okay, so this, talking a little bit about the development aspect at MTR, I will say right off the bat, without the support of our community, we could not do the work that we do. We work very hard to maintain a cost of service for our participants as low as we possibly can. So what that means is that our participants do not actually pay how much the programs and services actually cost, and we bridge that gap through community support. Again, whether that's grants, individual donors, it's sponsors of events, it's all of those things come together to make this work possible. So there's just a little bit there that shows you some insight into our revenue and expenses and the division of those, just to give you that kind of brief overview without boring you with a bunch of numbers. But again, thank you to everyone that makes it possible for us to, again, maintain the ability to offer the services at a reduced rate for our families and individuals that utilize our services. All right, and then we'll talk a little bit about events. I know Lindsay had mentioned our horse show. So our next event coming up is Sunday, April 26th, which is a spring participant horse show and open house at the farm. So if you are able to join us, it is an amazing day to see this community come out in full force at one specific time. You know, we've always got the 4 participants here. We've got groups coming here and there, but to be able to have everybody kind of showing at their top level and being able to do that in front of our community is amazing. So again, if you can join us, we would love to have you. We are going to be forgoing our Bourbon and Blossoms big gala this year. We've got some other special things that we're working on within our years, so we're going to be forgoing that, but we will gather together as a community again in October for our fall family-friendly event. So what day is the spring participant horse show? That's a Sunday, I think, Sunday, April 26th. So the fall event is great. If you have not attended an event at MTR, I highly recommend keeping an eye on your emails as we get towards the end of summer. It is a wonderful family-friendly event with activities, food, music, dancing, activities, and a fire pit is always a big draw at that event. So people just hanging out and enjoying each other's company. So that's going to be held on Saturday, October 3rd. So we hope that you can join us for that. And again, just a big shout out to our sponsors and grantors that are listed there. And that touches a small portion of the support that we receive. Again, there's so many individuals and families that support us throughout the year as well. So we're very grateful. Thank you.
Great. I'm going to kick off volunteers. Our volunteer community is so near and dear to my heart. So many reasons. But it's how I started at MTR, how most of our stuff first. And so we know what this is our volunteer community. It is a true program. It is a true community. I've seen volunteers hold each other and hug each other for tears on the worst days of their lives. I've seen them celebrate birthdays and weddings, showing up with cake and balloons and everything you can picture. And it's just beautiful to know that MTR is a place that can serve our participants in so many extraordinary ways, but that our volunteer community is not only getting back by providing them service, but also benefiting from that feeling and also being there too. So it's really incredible. For those of you who don't know, I share these numbers all the time because I think it just highlights how the extent to which we couldn't do without our volunteers. Last year we had over 260 active volunteers, and those volunteers were filling over 300 different volunteer assignments per week. That's a lot of different roles. On Saturdays alone, we had, I believe it was between 60 and 70 volunteer assignments supporting the program. It's really, really incredible. So as we were thinking about, so we're coming up on our 30th anniversary this year, and we thought it would be really cool to see which of our volunteers have been here the longest. So we were like, okay, let's put an ask out to the community, see who has been here for 10 years. We could not believe how many people got back to us. And you'll see that the names there, but they are actually our volunteers who have been here 15 years or more, because the list was too long for those who have been here for 10 years or more. And that just speaks to the commitment of our volunteer community. Come here and join a place where you're passionate about our mission and what you do. And so we want to highlight some of those volunteers here. So I'm going to speak on Jenna, who's been here way longer than I have.
Jenna Quinn is an incredible volunteer, an incredible person, an incredible friend. She has been here since 2000, 26 years. She is devoted to our programming and to support our volunteers, to support our community events and coming out for ambassador events. She is on committees for all of our events. She was so she's obviously been here longer than I have. When I got here, she welcomed me in as a new volunteer, and as I have grown in my role here at MTR, she had always been there to support me. And I can just look at her and she'll be like, I understand, I got you. And she'll help me in any way that I ask her. And it's truly incredible to know her and to know her depth of knowledge about our programming and just our organization. She is amazing, and everybody on this call knows that, especially at the study base around the farm. She supported. She was one of when I was first through my instructor training. She cheering me on. So she really is amazing. 26 years. That is a long time. We also want to highlight Joe Dyer, one of our instructors. He's been with MTR for 25 years. In true Joe nature, we saw him because he was coming as a sub instructor this afternoon, which he does quite often. We told him that he was being highlighted on the call, and oh, I'm not going to join. And that just speaks to his humility. He is an instructor. You know him from the guy in the white shirt and the white shorts in the summer, white pants in the winter. He has a way of connecting with participants that's just remarkable. Accomplishing things through games and creativity and jokes like I've never seen. He actually he was the instructor that was teaching my very, very first lesson when I first signed off. And he heard me tell this many a time to other volunteers who are sidewalking with them for the first time. But you all probably have heard that he had beat up, but he signed the phone during the lesson, and I was convinced that I ruined the whole lesson because I didn't know the conversion phone, only to have another instructor tell me later that he made it up. But that's just how he is, such a fun-loving, really incredible part. So he's 25 years. You'll also see down at the bottom some of those names. Again, 15 years or more of service. If we flip to the next page too, Lindsay highlighted our volunteer of the year last year, Betty Schaefer. There were 597 hours volunteering this past year. I did the math earlier, and that averages to about 12 hours per week, every week of the year. So that's really. We have the best volunteers. Another thing that we get really excited about is our partnerships in regard to our group service fees. So that is a way for us to
have an impact on the community, but also benefit from them providing this service to us. And so while we have a volunteer range for our right from the volunteers, we also love when people reach out. We want to come for a Jingle Day events. We have 25-acre farm, small staff. You know that they're always for farm or having those groups come out. We just had a group come out weekend day, painted ground. Oh, arena. They dug out some of the boulders that had been filled up from the sewer. So having groups that help people with spot check farm beautiful and allow us to put our feet. So we love those partnerships. So we're going to now.
We wanted to take a special time to talk about our in 2025. We were able to really formalize a new mental health program as part of our services. It's called HEAL, Holistic Equine Assisted Learning. And this grew out of Lindsay and I went to a training at Pegasus Therapeutic Riding, who had they presented at the Path International Conference. And like we've talked about, we love learning more and growing in our skill. And we're at that time looking, so it's been a few years now that we've been looking at this and developing it, but we're looking for ways to make our unmounted work really meaningful and to have kind of this foundational understanding of what it was and what goals we were working towards. And while learning there, the focus was on social and emotional growth and also trauma-informed care. And we started utilizing some of the foundations of the program in our Day on the Farm events. And then with some generous funding that Lisa will talk about, we're able to move it forward into a regular weekly offering, with really coming together as a team and deciding what we wanted it to look like and who we wanted to serve, and knowing that with mental health therapists on site and available, that we are always want to provide the highest level of care that we can. And that was how we decided that it would be a psychoeducational group. And so what sets that apart from like equine learning is that I love this is kind of like a melding together of equine assisted psychotherapy and equine learning, where we're using a little bit more equipment and it's a way to have volunteers supporting our mental health services, which that was something every volunteer appreciation week we do a mock and let them experience our equine assisted psychotherapy services, because there's so much interest to know how we're supporting the therapy, mental health therapy. But the psychoeducational group, there's volunteers assisting as horse handlers, and we might utilize grooming tools or halters and lead ropes to lead. But in equine learning, we will be focusing on how to do it correctly. And like we use this sequence of brushes in this order and for this purpose, and we use each tool this way. And so with the HEAL, with the psychoeducational group, we're keeping in mind what the group themselves are there to work on. Most of those things tend to be folks coming with a history of trauma. We have a group who struggle, who are in recovery for substance abuse. And so we're looking at things like how to access coping strategies and stress reduction, how to manage our emotions in the moment, and being mindful. So when we are standing with our horses and maybe using grooming tools, we're using it as a way to be curious and almost have an experiment about what's happening and what's being communicated from us to our horses and vice versa. And so it's a really neat way to grow in a safe environment to learn coping skills together in a group setting, practice regulation skills and being in the moment. We've had two groups in particular start newer groups with us this year. It was kind of case in how we grow very intentionally, being able to meld the expertise and skills we have to meet a need in the community, while also expanding beyond riding, so expanding those unmounted services. You can see John in the pictures here, and if you want to go to the next one too. It has expanded opportunities for participants, but also for our horses. They love it.
Yes.
It's been neat to see as we learn too more about how can you tell when a horse likes. They're a little clearer when they don't like something. But to really learn cues and signs when a horse is enjoying what's happening. You can see the softness in John's eye in this picture, and Wrigley in the top reaching his nose out towards Sheila. We don't have a real droopy lip. If we could see Kira's bottom lip in that picture, it's cut off. It would probably be really loose and droopy. But it has been neat. We brought up Splash a little bit before, but to see him transform when he was showing signs of really not liking, you couldn't groom him in the stall.
No.
He was really unhappy getting ready for mounted work. And that thing now comes dragging people into the arena.
Yep, those pretty little ears.
I'm ready to go to work, and has his cues and signs to show people when he wants his belly scratched.
Yeah. That hind leg is almost to his ear. He's like, right here, scratch my belly there.
And I know you want to being able to work with John and these other horses in particular.
Yeah. And in a different way.
Yeah.
We are very intentional about our scope of practice, and as an instructor, I feel like it is necessary to have a mental health provider in the space, because we are talking about what a horse's face looks like when it's expressing distrust or anxiety or or relaxed. So what starts off as what would a horse want us to think? What would a horse say to us? Things like being congruent, being a leader, know that I am a prey. I'm hunted in the wild. So if you come up to me with your hands in your pocket, moving very slowly, but your heart is beating really fast, I'm suspicious about you. And then knowing that there is a mental health provider there, that if things were to come up, because inevitably a horse will reflect what we're feeling inside. We were working with a group of women for a trauma-informed session, and we're talking about the placement of the horse's head and how to tell when their eyes are soft. And this woman is brushing John. John is a big draw. People feel very accomplished when they work with him.
Because he's big. If anyone doesn't know John.
John is big. John is the biggest horse. Yeah. His head is as big as my body. Yes, he's very big. They feel very proud to be with him and next to him. But we're talking about the breath and matching your breath with their breath. And suddenly, somehow standing there with this big heart brought about tears, and being able to hold space for her and watch the group members that were with her. There clearly was some experience that was being brought up there that she needed to process. So it felt like a very good structured form of experiential learning and psychotherapy with psychoeducation. Meanwhile, those with kids, we do a similar structure, but instead of spending time being grounded with the horse, their little bodies need to move. So we come up with different activities to work on building relationships and being receptive to others' emotions. Even if their emotion is not what we want, how can we still develop a relationship and be a herd member to your horse, but then it translates to being in a friendship. when our agreements aren't there and we don't have a shared interest, but I really want you to do what I want to do, but you not, how do we handle that? And that comes about by one activity we did with Jem to get her in was they brought curiosity toys, things that make noise or move or maybe have a different texture. We brought out a little plastic animatronic crab that goes across the ground like this and it makes little noise. And so they got to watch John go, and like his nostrils get real big and his eyes get big. And then they watched Jem go to it, but just enough so that her ear was pointed down at it and still suspicious, but showing bravery. And so they create a description of what that horse is experiencing, and it develops into social emotional goals. And it is not, Akira also is a major player in this work because it is not, when we get to the portion of leading, it is not getting her from point A to point B. It's being receptive to what she needs from them at any checkpoint. So we've done activities where we set up obstacle courses or they set up obstacle courses that represent to them different things. And it's just an exceptional way. It provides them with a very visceral memory of what it feels like to establish a relationship, even if we don't agree on everything or we don't communicate similarly. It's a very powerful experience for them, and the kids especially, they get right in with those horses, and it it's just so neat to watch them get those bonds.
Yeah, we were very lucky last year. We had, as you can see at the bottom of the page, Brian and Patricia Guy's Foundation partnering with them. They're a new grantor to us in 2025. And in speaking with them and finding the way that they wanted to make an impact with MTR, we settled upon something that would be group associated. And the HEAL program really struck that chord with what the right fit was for their funding. So with their funding, we were actually able to reach out to organizations in the community that have either utilized us in the past, but due to funding limitations, were unable to utilize us again. Or a brand new organizations that we can reach out to. So last year we were able to support Boys and Girls Club or the Boys and Girls Club of Annapolis and Chrysalis House. We're thrilled that after last year's experience with us, the Guys Foundation has renewed their commitment to us for 2026 to support this same program and actually increased their support this year to allow us to expand our reach for the program as well. So we're really grateful to them for that support and just seeing how this program has been implemented this year and those groups that have utilized it. It's just been an amazing addition to our programs here.
All right, thank you, everybody. Before we close out, I'd like to just put out if there's anybody that has any questions, feel free. I think you can can you raise your, or you can type it into the chat.
I think somebody asked about yoga on the farm. I can share last year, we actually partnered with Crofton Yoga, and they provided us with instructors. I think it was from May through October, the first Sunday of the month. There was yoga on the farm. It was not a fee to participate. It was by donation if you were interested in donating to MTR. The yoga instructors donated their time to serve the community. So we're talking to them again this year. There's some scheduling conflicts, so stay tuned. We're hoping that we're going to be able to offer that again. It really was a really fun experience just having that on a Sunday morning. So Sundays we don't have any programming at the farm, so it's a super quiet and serene time, and to be able to have this beautiful farm that you're overlooking during the yoga is just an experience. So we're hopeful that we're going to be able to offer it again this year. So stay tuned and we'll definitely let you know.
Yep, and I see Tempest. Do you have a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi,
On
Tempest.
the hey, on the slideshow that was talking on the page that was talking about the horses, I believe it was Wrigley. He had an award. I wanted to know what that was.
Oh yeah, that's our MTR Equine Partner of the Year. That is nominations and voting. That's all within our organization, and he was voted for this year for 2025 for our
Oh,
Equine Partner of the Year.
yay.
Yeah.
Yes,
You
very
Thank
got to
you.
submit a nomination for Chip Tempest.
Yeah, how many times can I vote?
Any other questions or comments? Well, I just want to thank you all for being here tonight, but more importantly for being here for MTR. And we could not do this work without you. We are making a real impact here. So I hope you know how much your contributions, whether that's time, um, financially supporting us, donating a horse, any of it, you are contributing to so much good in this world. So just want to thank you all for what you do to make this mission happen. Also want to thank our amazing staff. They work so hard, and we are so lucky to have each and every one of them here is in leading this organization. So thank you all. Just to close it out, with this being our 30th anniversary year, we all just wanted to share what we're excited for in 2026. So I will kick us off. I, of course, am excited to celebrate 30 years of the healing power of horses. Um, and I am extra excited about our future planning. Wink, wink.
I will go next. I am really excited. I think this year we had such amazing community outreach opportunities and partnership opportunities, and I am hopeful and look forward to this year expanding on that even further with a really strong ambassador program that's able to go out in the community and really educate and inform the community that we are here and what we do and who we serve. So we're excited about that.
Jump in. I every week, every month that goes by, I get more excited about the different ways that we can partner forces. Anyone who's been up for this community for any amount of time knows how much pride we take in really believing that the horses are our partners. So I'm excited. Some of the things we talked about were expanding our unmounted opportunities, but being creative and exploring the ways that we can partner with our bird.
Jessica totally stole mine. I was gonna say that I'm so excited to see how our herd grows. I always get distracted when I'm teaching lessons, complimenting our horses. Like Chrissy won the heart horse for this year, which is such a huge honor. But I think we have about 10 more heart horses in our herd right now, and
Very true.
I'm always impressed with the priority we put on allowing our horses to have personalities and allowing them to have that. They just give us so much more. Like there's so many times where you think this is gonna be really hard for this horse, and we expect it to be hard, and they just show up for us in ways that really honestly shock me every day we're here. And so I'm so thankful and excited to continue to work with these horses and see where they are in a year.
I can go next. I am taking on a whole new role, and I'm very excited to really dive headfirst into that and expand what I've been doing into something even bigger, and to work with our amazing volunteer community. I've really felt a connection with everyone that I interact with, and I'm just really excited to do that. And I'm also excited because I am working on uh my certified riding instructor uh certification. So
I can go next. I am looking forward to wrapping up my last leg of the what feels like a doctorate of therapeutic riding. A full dissertation, a panel review, and the nitty-gritty business. I'm looking forward to that last little stretch to the finish line this year.
Of Lindsay's master certification
My
process.
master certification. Yes, yes. Which I'm just following in the footsteps of Kelly because there are probably only 28 master level instructors in the world. And it's quite an honor to even do this process. I no matter the outcome, I would willingly do it again. It's just been so meaningful and beneficial.
I can't wait to make it official, Lindsay. We're gonna have a big celebration, everybody.
Yes, we are. I feel like I'm in a similar boat of finishing my mental health license. I'm working under supervision, and it has been 8 long years. I'm determined to finish it this year. So that is a big endeavor, while also expanding our nature-informed services. So we have openings now for mental health services on the farm, often out with the goats, but bringing in people say all the time, you drive down the driveway and you can just feel the difference of being on this farm and in this space. So being able to have therapy, different types of therapy, just here in the natural environment, this healing space. We have openings now.
I just want to add one thing so everybody knows on this photo, that is not photoshopped. That is a true photo of the farm. So if everybody was wondering where that pot of gold is under the rainbow, it's here.
That's right. Thank you all so much. Appreciate you being here, and I look forward to seeing you all out on the farm.
Thanks,
Thank you
everyone.
all.
All right, have a good night.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.